God says 2 angels were sent to protect you, but this is their final warning. If you ignore this, they won't be allowed to return. They cannot warn you again. Open this message quickly. You must hear this. You are not here by accident. Heaven has reached out one final time. The 2 angels assigned to protect you are standing still. They are watching, waiting for your response. You are standing at the edge of something spiritual, and if you close your heart or scroll away now, you may lose something that cannot be regained. Listen carefully. Watch till the end. This is your moment. You won't get another like this. You are not just being warned. You are being loved, rescued, and chosen. Comment Amen if your heart says yes. God has always sent messengers before judgment, before transition, before miracles. And now this is one of those moments. The angels were not sent for comfort. They were sent for battle. They have stood beside you in silence through every attack. You didn't even see. They covered you when you were asleep, blind to the arrows being aimed at your spirit. But now they've stepped forward not to protect you silently, but to deliver a warning. This is your final wake-up call. Not because God is angry, but because time is running out. You're walking into a moment that will define your future. This is not a random word. This is a divine crossroads. The enemy has launched a final plan to distract, delay, or destroy you. But the angels of the Lord stood between you and that destruction. They blocked what should have broken you. They silenced what should have humiliated you. They interrupted what was sent to ruin your peace. But now they are bound unless you obey. Their hands are tied unless your heart responds. Comment 11 if you believe God is still fighting for you. Let me be clear. This isn't about fear. It's about truth. It's about the weight of heaven resting on your life and the danger of ignoring the signals. God sent angels, and not just any angels, warring ones assigned only for those with purpose. You felt out of place your whole life because your life is not common. You've battled more because more was put inside you. You've lost things others kept because your call demanded sacrifice. But what you cannot afford now is to dismiss this moment. If you do, the angels won't return. They cannot disobey divine command. What does this mean for you? It means you have a choice, not just about your future, but your alignment. God is calling you back to your first love, back to your knees, back to your purpose. You've drifted in the busyness, in the pain, in the doubt, and the enemy has tried to lull you to sleep with distractions. But this is not the season to sleep. This is the hour to rise. There is still something in you that hasn't been stolen, and God is calling it forward. If you feel like everything has been going wrong lately, it's not random. The spiritual world has been shaking around you not to destroy you, but to wake you up. God allowed certain things to fail so you'd stop leaning on what was never meant to hold you. He let some doors close so you'd stop begging for what was beneath you. He let some people go so your circle could be cleared for divine access. But now he's saying, listen, this is your last warning before the shift. Angels are not sent lightly. They are heaven's warriors. And when they are sent to you, it is because you carry something on your life worth protecting. This is not just about survival. It's about destiny. What's in you must come forth. The time is now. If you ignore this, you will still live, but you will miss what was meant for you. You will walk in circles instead of taking territory. You will hear silence where there was once divine instruction. You are loved deeply, fiercely, eternally. God's love is not quiet. It moves mountains. It sends angels. It holds back hell until you are ready to stand. But this love also speaks with urgency when your soul is in danger. And today God is speaking urgently to you. The ones who hear this are the ones marked. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to say yes. Yes to turning. Yes to listening. Yes to changing direction. God didn't let the accident happen. He didn't let the overdose take you. He didn't let the heartbreak destroy you. You are still here, and not just barely. You are alive with purpose. The enemy couldn't take you, but now he's trying to make you numb. If you're tired, drained, feeling like giving up, that's not weakness. That's spiritual warfare. But here is your confirmation. You are not losing. You are being prepared for something greater. The angels came to guard what's next. Comment 22 if you trust that God is sending breakthrough. This is not the time to doubt. God is not silent. He is speaking now through this word because He loves you too much to let you slip into a counterfeit life. The angels have held the line for as long as they were allowed. But they cannot fight where there is no faith. They cannot shield where there is rebellion. They cannot linger if you choose to ignore what heaven is speaking. You don't have to be strong. You just have to be willing. Don't let your heart harden. Don't let the past convince you that you've missed your chance. This is your moment, your wake-up call. God's mercy has reached you again. Don't play with this. Don't scroll past this like another random video. The angels are waiting. They are ready to move, but they can only go where God is welcomed, where surrender is chosen, where obedience is embraced. God is not trying to take something from you. He's trying to give you something you cannot lose. If this touched your spirit, if you know deep down this word is for you, then don't wait. Like this video as a sign that you receive it, let your faith respond. Let heaven see your yes. But now they've spoken their final words. This is no longer about protection from the outside. It's about your decision on the inside. They cannot protect someone who chooses to walk away from what God is doing. This is your invitation to return to the safety of His presence before the doors close. Don't delay. This moment is too important. Don't treat it like every other word you've heard. The warning is not meant to scare you. It's meant to save you. It's the final knock before silence. You've been questioning why things feel heavier, why nothing feels quite right. It's not confusion, it's conviction. It's the echo of heaven calling your spirit home. Your soul knows this is divine. Something in you recognizes this voice. You've heard it before in the quiet moments, in the sleepless nights, in the tears you didn't tell anyone about. God has not forgotten you. He's been waiting for you to return to Him fully. That's why the angels were sent. They saw the traps laid for you, the relationships that would have pulled you away from purpose, the decisions that seemed small but would have stolen years, the compromises that looked harmless but would have broken your calling. They stood in the way. But now they cannot stand there any longer unless you listen. You're not just being asked to believe. You're being asked to obey, to step away from what's been draining your spirit, to walk away from what feels good but isn't God, to say yes to what your heart knows is right. even if your flesh fights against it. Comment 333 to declare your faith in this moment. You might feel unworthy. You might feel like you've messed up too much to be chosen. But hear this clearly. God didn't send angels to protect someone he's finished with. He didn't rescue you just to leave you. He didn't speak this word to someone he's rejected. You are still the one he loves. You are still the one he's calling. You are still the one he has plans for. And the enemy knows it. That's why the warfare has been so intense. That's why the pressure has increased, because something is coming and you're a key part of it. This is about alignment, not perfection. God isn't asking you to fix everything today. He's asking for your yes, for your heart, for your attention. He's asking you to make space for him again, to shut out the noise and listen to his voice. You've let so many things speak louder than him lately. The pain, the opinions, the fear, the distractions. But his voice has never stopped. It's still calling. And today, it's reaching out with fire. This is not casual. This is holy, and your response will shape what happens next. There are blessings with your name on them that the angels were assigned to deliver. But blessings are tied to obedience. Miracles are tied to trust. You've asked for answers, but have you created room to receive them? You've asked for breakthrough, but are you willing to let go of what's blocking it? Sometimes, it's not the enemy stopping you. It's your own delay in moving when God says move. The angels were sent to clear the way, but now they're standing still, waiting for your surrender. You're not forgotten. You're not overlooked. You're not abandoned. God has surrounded you with grace and covered you with mercy. But grace is not a license to ignore warnings. Mercy is not permission to keep walking toward destruction. You've been given another chance, not because you deserve it, but because God loves you that deeply. This is your chance to say yes before heaven goes silent on this chapter. Don't harden your heart. This is your rescue wrapped in a warning. Comment 555 if you believe God is calling you out of what's been holding you back. You've been feeling distant, cold, like something is missing. That's not just life. That's your spirit reacting to separation from the presence of God. You were never meant to live disconnected. You were never built to carry all this weight alone. That's why you're tired. That's why nothing satisfies. Because only God can fill what's been broken. Only His voice can guide you out of this storm. And that voice is here now through this word, reaching deep into your soul. The two angels have seen the spiritual warfare around you. They've stood between you and every demonic strategy the enemy unleashed, but they were never meant to replace your relationship with God. They were sent to assist, not substitute. The real power is in God's presence, and that's where you must return. The closer you get to Him, the louder His voice becomes. The more you trust Him, the more clearly you'll see your path. The more you obey, the more heaven will fight on your behalf. This is your season to return, to reset, to rebuild, not with your strength, but with God's, not with fear, but with faith. He is not done with you. He's just getting started. But you have to choose. God will not force you to obey. He will not push you into blessings you're not willing to receive. He gives you the choice. And that choice starts with surrender. That's what the angels came to remind you of. That's what this final warning is all about. God is calling you out of delay, out of cycles, out of numbness. He's calling you into clarity, into purpose, into joy. Again, the angels were not sent to scare you. They were sent to shield you while you decide. But now their time is almost up. They cannot stay unless you say yes. This is not punishment. This is love, a fierce, protective, unstoppable love that doesn't want to see you waste another year wandering. And you know it deep inside. You feel it. The pull, the urgency, the fire that's waking up in your chest. That's not emotion. That's the Spirit of God reaching into the deepest parts of you. Answer Him. Don't wait. This is your time. This is your moment. And if you say yes, really yes, everything changes. They were sent to push you toward what's ahead, but without your full surrender, they cannot move. They've gone as far as they're allowed. And this is the final moment. One more yes can open what has been locked for years. But one more refusal can cause the shift to pass you by. You've asked for breakthrough, and God heard you. But breakthrough doesn't happen when you're standing in disobedience. It happens when you're standing in position. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are being awakened. The discomfort you feel is not punishment. It's preparation. Heaven is trying to move something out of your life so God can move something into it. But if you keep clinging to what was, you will miss what is. There's no space for the new when your hands are full of the old. God has covered you when you didn't even know you needed covering. He watched you walk into places that were set up to harm you. And He stepped in quietly to block the blow. Not once, not twice, over and over. And now He has spoken. The angels have spoken. This isn't another nudge. This is the final alarm before silence, before withdrawal, before they're reassigned. And it's not because God is angry. It's because you have outgrown where you are. This level can't contain your calling anymore. Comment 1212 if you know this word is waking something up in you. You're in the middle of spiritual tension because you are carrying more than you realize. You've been stretched, pressed, tested, but that is the sign of someone trusted. The enemy has fought you harder than most. Not because you're weak, but because you're valuable. And those angels, they saw what you never saw. They stood between your name and slander, between your mind and torment, between your body and disease. You don't even know what missed you because of them. And now they're standing still, waiting on your yes. Maybe not your delay, your yes. This is not a season to take lightly. This is not a random word floating in your feed. This is a divine interruption, a voice you've needed but have tried to tune out. Because the truth is, sometimes staying numb is easier than facing what needs to change. But numbness is costing you too much. It's costing you time. It's costing you peace. It's costing you access to the blessings that have already been marked with your name. You have to open your heart again fully, or you will block what heaven has been preparing to release. You are so much closer than you realize. You think you're breaking down, but God says you're breaking through. What feels like falling apart is really a holy shift. The shaking is not here to ruin you. It's here to release you. But the angels cannot go with you if you choose to stay in what God has told you to leave. You can't carry compromise into your calling. You can't carry bitterness into your breakthrough. You can't carry silence into a season where God is asking you to speak and stand. Comment 777 if you trust that God is shifting your season right now. You are chosen. And with that comes weight. You've always felt different. That's because you were never made to blend in. That aching you feel in your soul. It's the pull of heaven reminding you that you're not just here to survive. You're here to lead, to shift atmospheres, to carry something others don't. That's why the fight has been so relentless. That's why the loneliness feels unbearable at times. But you've never been alone. God was there. The angels were there. And now heaven is waiting for your voice. Your obedience is the key. You want open doors, but obedience unlocks them. You want healing, but obedience positions you for it. You want restoration, but obedience invites the hand of God into broken places. You don't have to fix everything, but you have to say yes. You have to walk when He says move. You have to trust Him when He says let go. That person, that situation, that habit, if God is asking for it, it's because it's blocking what He's trying to release. God's love is not soft. It's strong. It doesn't just sit in comfort. It rescues in the fire. And right now you're in that fire, but not alone, not abandoned. He's in it with you. And He's sending this word like water on your soul to bring clarity. Where there's been confusion, to bring peace. Where there's been panic, to bring stillness. Where there's been noise, the angels are with you, but they need your agreement. Heaven will not override your will. You must choose. You've cried asking God for a sign. This is it. You've begged for direction. This is it. You felt like you're standing at a spiritual crossroads. You are. And if you keep walking in the same direction, you'll end up missing the very thing you were born for. But if you turn now, if you listen, if you obey what's coming, we'll make sense of everything you've suffered through. The pain, the delay, the isolation, it will all come together. But not if you walk away from this moment unchanged. The angels were never sent to stay forever. They were sent for this window. And when it closes, they cannot return until you are ready again. But there is no promise that your next chance will feel like this. Sometimes the Spirit of God moves in waves. And if you miss the wave, you miss what it was meant to carry you into. This is your wave. Ride it. Don't reason it away. Don't overthink it. Don't ask for another sign when God has already given you this one. There's a remnant rising. You're part of it. A people who won't be distracted anymore. A people who will stand in holiness, in truth, in boldness. A people who will break generational curses by their obedience. A people who will rise in the fire and not be burned. You are part of that, but you must rise now. You must respond now. The heavens are open, but open doors are only useful if you walk through them. That's why your childhood carried weight no one knew about. That's why certain people were sent to you with charm on the surface, but poison underneath. That's why your peace has been under pressure and your mind has felt like a battlefield. But what you didn't see is that the two angels who were sent to protect you stood in front of what was designed to break you. They stepped in when the depression almost silenced your praise. They stood tall when rejection tried to convince you that you weren't loved. They covered your back when betrayal came from the people you trusted the most. They whispered strength when your heart almost gave out from all the disappointment. They didn't just fight demons. They fought off thoughts, habits, spiritual fog, and emotional paralysis. But even angels have assignments with conditions. They cannot protect where there is disobedience. They cannot intervene when God has made it clear that it's time for you to move. Their final warning has been spoken. What you do next matters more than you know. Comment 999 if your spirit knows this word is uncovering what's been hidden. You have been walking in a fog, but God is bringing clarity. You've been dragging your feet through seasons that feel heavy and unclear. But here is the truth. You've been fighting the right battles, just not in the right position. You were never meant to fight from fear. You were meant to fight from faith, and those angels were holding the line so you wouldn't be taken out before your appointed time. But now the Lord says, the next move is yours. Will you respond to the voice calling you back to obedience, back to holiness, back to full surrender? It's not enough to believe in God. Even the enemy believes in Him. The question is, do you belong to Him? Can heaven still trust you when it asks for your comfort, when it asks for your sacrifice? When it asks you to walk away from what looks good but isn't God? There's a calling on your life, and the weight of that calling demands a deeper response than you've been giving. The casual walk you've been living won't survive the pressure of the next season. God is not calling you to be popular. He's calling you to be powerful, and power only flows through surrender. Those angels saw what was waiting in the shadows. The trap that looked like opportunity. The connection that was really a spiritual ambush. The habit you were justifying, but that was actually inviting in destruction. God had them step in cover you delay the damage, but He won't keep delaying forever. Mercy is real, but so is timing. And right now, this is your divine intersection. You can't pretend you didn't hear this. Heaven sees your heart. It knows whether you're just feeling convicted or if you're ready to be changed. You've been feeling an uneasiness, a sense that you're not where you're supposed to be. That's not failure. That's a spiritual alarm going off. God is waking you up because He's ready to do something with your life that will shake everything around you. But He cannot build on what's not fully surrendered. Half yeses won't carry you anymore. Compromised faith won't protect you anymore. This season requires clarity, courage, and commitment. And if you give God those three things, He will give you back peace, purpose, and protection. Comment 1 if you believe God is leading you into something new. You've been praying for favor, but favor without obedience becomes a curse. You've asked for overflow, but overflow would drown you if your foundation is cracked. That's why God allowed certain things to break. That's why He removed some people, shut some doors, exposed some situations. He wasn't punishing you, He was saving you. The angels were guarding you while heaven was fixing the route ahead. But now the light has turned green in the spirit. It's time to move. This hesitation must end. The delay has become disobedience. Some of you are still holding on to relationships God told you to release. You're still justifying behaviors that are slowly draining your spirit. You're still entertaining voices that sound like truth but carry deception. And God, in His love, is speaking again. He's not yelling. He's not forcing. But He is warning. Because what comes next will either stretch you into purpose or pull you into pain. The angels can't cover you from what you willingly walk into. They were sent to protect your obedience, not your rebellion. You've been forgiven, yes. But this isn't just about grace. It's about assignment. You can be forgiven and still miss what you were called to do. You can be saved and still live stuck. God doesn't want you to just escape hell. He wants you to walk in kingdom authority here and now. That's why this word found you. That's why it won't let you scroll past. This is your reminder that you carry something heaven refuses to let die. You are anointed for more than survival. You are called for divine impact. But first, you must return. Come back to prayer. Come back to worship. Come back to fasting, to seeking, to listening. God misses your voice, not the one you use in public, the one you use when no one is watching. The raw one, the broken one, the one that cries out in the middle of the night. That voice, that's the one he wants again. Not for his sake, but for yours. Because when you return to that place, heaven starts moving. Chains start falling. The fog lifts. The angels rejoice, and your heart remembers who it really is. You are not your past. You are not your sin. You are not the lie the enemy has whispered to you over and over. You are a child of God. You are called, covered, and chosen. But now you must live like it. Not perfectly, but surrendered. Let the pride fall. Let the excuses die. Let the fear be silenced. You were never meant to carry all of this alone. The presence of God is here right now, calling you to step back into alignment so he can release what's next. This is your chance. Don't walk away from it. The angels can't warn you again. This was their final assignment. They stood guard until this moment, until this word. What you choose now shapes what heaven can do next. It's not too late, but it is urgent. It's not over, but it is serious. God is not done. He's drawing you back not because you're weak, but because you're worthy of his love. And he wants to walk you into the future he designed for you before the world ever knew your name. The two angels who stood guard over you were not sent because you were faithful all the time. They were sent because God is faithful, because he saw the end from the beginning, because he still sees something in you that's worth protecting, guiding, and restoring. That's why this message found you. You're not being warned because you're unloved. You're being warned because you matter that much. Heaven has held things in place for you, held them back, kept them hidden until you were ready. There are blessings with your name on them that God didn't release, yet not to punish you, but to protect you. Some doors didn't open because you would have walked into them with wounded hands. Some prayers went unanswered because your heart was still tangled in things that would have destroyed what you asked for. The angels saw it. They shielded it. But they can only stand still for so long. Their final warning has been given, and now it's in your hands to decide whether you will move forward in faith or remain stuck by fear. Comment 1515 if you believe God is restoring everything that was delayed. God doesn't need perfect people. He moves through willing hearts. You don't need to have it all figured out to be chosen. You just need to say, "I'm ready, Lord." Even if I'm scared, even if I've failed before, even if I don't know how to do this. Heaven responds to the humble, not the flawless. And when you humble yourself, when you surrender, when you stop running, God begins to release what has been held. The angels move again, the path clears, the delays break, and what once seemed out of reach starts coming into view. The pain you've carried was never for nothing. God saw every tear, every night you prayed without answers, every time you stayed silent because you didn't know who to trust. He counted each one, and he never left. The angels watched you crawl when you wanted to give up. They stood guard while you battled thoughts that no one else knew were tormenting you. But now you're being called higher, not to carry more pain, but to walk in more purpose. but you must respond. This time is different. Heaven is waiting for your voice, not just your questions. You've asked, why me? Why the battles? Why the loneliness? Why the cycles? And God says, because you carry something sacred. The ones He marks for impact are the ones the enemy targets hardest. That's why the fire has felt hotter lately. That's why the pressure has increased. But listen carefully. It's not a sign you're losing. It's confirmation that something is about to break in the spirit. A shift is coming, but it requires your obedience. The angels have covered you while you questioned. Now they stand waiting while you decide. Comment 1717 if you're ready for what God has prepared. There's a blessing that's been circling your life, waiting for access. It's not far. It's not hidden. It's just locked behind obedience. And the keys have been in your hand all along. Forgiveness prayer, letting go of what hurt you, returning to your secret place, laying down what you thought you needed. These are the keys. Not loud acts, not outward performance, quiet obedience. That's what unlocks the floodgates. That's when the angels move. That's when heaven releases what's been stored up. This next season of your life isn't about proving anything. It's about walking fully as the person God has been shaping in the quiet. You've grown more than you realize. The tears you cried watered the roots of your calling. The seasons where you were silent were not wasted. They were sacred. God was strengthening you while you felt weak. And now the shift is here, but it won't wait forever. You must choose. Let go of what's behind it and walk toward what God is calling you into. You're not late. You haven't missed it. Even with all the detours, God still has a way to take you exactly where you were meant to be. The road may not look like what you imagined, but it's still holy. It's still anointed, and it's still yours. The enemy wants to convince you that it's too late, that you've made too many mistakes. But God is not limited by your past. He is moved by your surrender. One moment of obedience can restore years of delay. One yes can shift generations after you. The two angels were assigned to your journey because your path was never going to be easy. You weren't made to live a quiet, forgotten life. You were created to shift atmospheres, to pray with authority, to speak life where others speak fear, to carry the presence of God where others compromise. That's why your life has felt like a fight. But God has not left you alone in the fight. And now He's calling you to rise, not in your strength, in His. This is where everything changes, not because the pain stops, but because you stop walking away from the presence of the one who heals. You stop letting shame drive you. You stop letting fear speak louder than faith. You stop letting temporary pleasure rob you of permanent promise. You stop trying to do it on your own and start letting God carry what's too heavy for you. This is where surrender becomes your strength. And here's the truth. God never needed you to be impressive. He just wanted you to be honest. The angels didn't stay because you were perfect. They stayed because your name is written in heaven's plans. And now those plans are unfolding, but they require your full yes. Not partial, not conditional. The door is open, but you have to walk through it. Don't wait for another sign. Don't ask for another confirmation. This is it. You've been asking for clarity. This is your clarity. You've been asking for a word. This is your word. You've been hoping for another chance. This is your chance. the angels will not return with another warning. Their assignment was to speak once more, and they have. What you choose now will echo into your next season. This moment right now is the result of everything heaven has protected you from. The angels didn't just defend you, they preserved your purpose. But now they've spoken the final word. You are no longer in the season of quiet protection. You are now in the season of divine decision. What you do next will either unlock everything or delay what has already waited too long. You might not see it yet, but something has already shifted around you. The resistance you've been facing, the constant pressure in your spirit, the feeling that something is changing. It's not just you, it's heaven moving. The angels have been preparing the space, keeping back what should have crushed you, making room for what is about to be released. But that release is conditional. God doesn't bless disobedience. He covers you in it for a time, but His power is revealed in your obedience. And this is that moment where you must decide. Will you finally say yes without hesitation? Comment Amen if your heart is ready to fully surrender to God's will. The warning isn't to scare you. It's to wake you. This is not just another emotional moment. This is spiritual positioning. What you've been feeling inside, that restlessness, that pull, that urgency, is not anxiety. It's alignment. God is pulling you into the place where your blessing lives. But He won't drag you there. He's too loving to force you. He needs your choice. He's shown you grace. Now He's asking for your heart. All of it. No more compromise. No more pretending. No more trying to balance God and everything else that's been draining your soul. You've already seen what happens when you walk without full surrender. You've tasted the emptiness of success without peace. You've known what it feels like to be surrounded but still feel spiritually alone. That's not the life God promised. That's the life that comes when we live with divided hearts. But God is offering something better. Not perfect circumstances, but peace that passes understanding. Not comfort without struggle, but purpose that fuels you through the fire. That's what the angels have been protecting, not just your body, your future. There are people waiting on your yes. People who don't even know your name yet, but their freedom is tied to your obedience. When you step fully into God's will, you begin to break chains you didn't even realize were on others. You begin to pray with power. You begin to walk with wisdom. You begin to speak with clarity. And when you do, everything around you shifts. The atmosphere changes. The direction of your family shifts. Your bloodline starts to heal. Your home becomes a place of peace, not pressure. All of it starts with your yes. Comment 1111 if you believe your obedience is unlocking generational blessing. The angels who have walked with you until now are not walking away in anger. They're stepping back in obedience. They cannot stay if you continue to resist what God is calling you into. This is your chance to align with heaven's timing, to step into the rhythm of God's will for your life. You were never meant to live numb, overwhelmed, or confused. You were created for boldness, for spiritual clarity, for divine assignments, for joy that isn't shaken by circumstance. But you cannot live that life if you stay chained to the things God is asking you to let go of. This is your line in the sand. You've cried long enough. You've wandered long enough. God is here. His voice is near. His presence is surrounding you right now. But He's not asking you to feel Him. He's asking you to follow him, even when it's not comfortable, even when it doesn't make sense, even when it costs you something. Because what he's about to give you in return will be far greater than what you have to let go of. There are blessings that are ready, relationships that are aligned, opportunities that are prepared, miracles that are waiting to be released. But God is not careless. He won't give something holy to someone who isn't ready to carry it. That's why this moment is so serious. This isn't about punishment. This is about preparation. You're being refined so you can hold what's coming. The delay was protection. The pain was part of your preparation. But the promise still stands, and it's close. Your heart has felt heavy because your spirit knows you're close to something big. That weight isn't confusion. It's labor. You're carrying something. And God is calling you to push, to press in, to stop second-guessing what you know He already said, to stop asking for the same confirmation over and over when He's already shown you it's Him. The time for delay is over. The time for obedience is now. You've come through seasons that should have ended you. You faced things that others didn't survive. That's not random. That's purpose. You were preserved because you are called. And heaven doesn't waste survival stories. God will use everything, every mistake, every scar, every dark night as a part of your testimony. But now it's time for the next chapter to begin. And that chapter starts with your full surrender. The angels were assigned to protect what you were meant to build. A family, a ministry, a movement, a legacy. But legacy isn't built on convenience. It's built on choices that echo into eternity. And this is one of those choices. You may not see the full picture yet. You may not understand why the warning feels so urgent. But trust this. God is not a God of confusion. He is a God of clarity. And when He sends a final warning, it's because the next step is critical. Do not ignore this. Do not brush this off. You are loved too deeply to be left to wander any longer. The Father is calling you back. The angels have done their part. Now it's your turn. Don't trade what's coming for what's familiar. Don't choose temporary relief over eternal reward. Don't delay what God is ready to release. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. You've smiled through pain. You've encouraged others while your own heart was heavy. You've kept going when everything in you wanted to stop. And still God says, I see you. The two angels standing by you saw every moment you hid from others. They heard the cries you never spoke out loud. They didn't just protect your life. They protected your calling. But now that calling is demanding a response. Not someday. Not when it's easier now. Because heaven knows something you don't. Time is shifting. Things are moving. And if you don't move with them, you will be left in a place where grace has already lifted. This is not to scare you. It's to awaken you. You are standing at the edge of divine release. And what you do next determines what God can do through you. The angels won't intervene again. They've been instructed to wait. And unless your spirit responds, they cannot stay. Comment 222 if you're choosing to step into full obedience, no matter the cost. You've been in survival mode, just trying to make it day to day. But God is calling you into something higher, into vision, into strength, into clarity, into peace that doesn't come and go. The angels saw how the enemy tried to confuse your mind plant, fear in your heart, distract you with noise, and they stood guard. But they weren't sent just to protect your peace. They were sent to prepare the path for your purpose. And now that path is clear, but you have to walk it. Don't look back. Don't reach for what God has already asked you to release. He shut that door for a reason. He ended that season on purpose. If you go back, you'll forfeit what's ahead. The enemy would love for you to be so bound by your past that you miss the blessing in your future. But God didn't bring you through all of that just for you to be stuck in a cycle. He's offering you freedom, real, deep, lasting freedom. But you have to choose it. And that choice looks like obedience. Some of you have been asking, what do I need to do? And God's answer is simple. Even if it's not easy, let go. Let go of control. Let go of the idea that you need to fix everything. Let go of the fear that's keeping you from taking the next step. Let go of the people who keep pulling you back into what you already healed from. The angels can't carry you if you're still clinging to what heaven told you to release. Comment 333 if you're done holding on to what God has already asked you to let go. This is the hour of decision. Heaven isn't playing games with your life. Your purpose is too important. Your destiny is too costly. And your obedience is the key. Every time you delay, you risk losing time you can't get back. God will never stop loving you. But there are assignments that only open when you say yes. There are miracles that only fall when you move in faith. There are lives connected to your obedience. People you've never met yet are waiting for you to stand up and walk in what God put inside of you. You think you're just fighting for yourself, but you're not. You're fighting for your family, for your children, for your future, for the people who will be changed by your story. You are the one who breaks the chain. You are the one who changes the pattern. You are the one who says, "It ends with me." And God is ready to give you everything you need. Strength, grace, clarity, resources, protection. But He's waiting for your yes. The angels who were sent to protect you are also the ones who clear the path when it's time to move. They were never meant to stay in places where you refuse to grow. God sends angels to accompany purpose. And when purpose is ignored, their assignment ends, but you still have time. You are still breathing. That means the window is open. The invitation is still extended. The blessing is still possible, but only if you stop hesitating and start obeying. You've already seen what you can do in your own strength. Now it's time to see what God can do when you surrender. His power flows where your pride ends. His direction comes where your fear breaks. His favor follows your obedience. If you've been stuck, this is your exit. If you've been lost, this is your sign. If you've been tired, this is your refreshing. But you must receive it. You must act on it. You must believe that God is not just speaking generally. He is speaking to you. There's a shift happening in the Spirit. And you don't want to miss it. New doors are opening. Old patterns are being broken. Generational curses are being cut off. And heaven is watching how you respond. The angels are ready to move again. But only when you do. What they've guarded was never meant to stay hidden. It's time for it to be revealed. But revelation without obedience is just noise. And God is done allowing delay to dominate your destiny. You've been afraid that if you let go, everything will fall apart. But the truth is, the longer you hold on, the heavier it becomes. God isn't asking you to lose everything. He's asking you to trust that He can restore what's real and remove what's harmful. Sometimes the things we're most afraid to lose are the very things holding us back. Letting go isn't weakness. It's worship. It's saying, God, I trust you more than I trust my comfort. And when you trust him, really trust him, he moves suddenly, powerfully, completely. Chains fall, doors open. Vision returns, joy rises, and the things that used to intimidate you will no longer have power over you. That's what's on the other side of your yes. That's what the angels have been protecting. Not just a moment, a movement, a shift in your life so deep that everything changes. The only thing left between you and what's already been written is your willingness to obey. The angels who protected you from harm are now standing still. Not because they've abandoned you, but because their next move depends on yours. The final warning has been delivered. The next step belongs to you. There's no more time to sit in hesitation. The door is open, but it won't stay open forever. Some doors are seasonal. Some assignments are time-sensitive. If you wait too long, what was meant to elevate, you will pass into someone else's hands. That's why this feels so heavy. That's why your spirit is unsettled. You're not confused. You're being stirred. God is pressing on your heart, shaking the dust off your purpose and calling you into action. No more delays, no more maybe later. This is the moment where your faith must speak louder than your fear. Comment 555 if you know this word is pulling you into a new season of obedience. Every time you take a step toward God, heaven moves closer. Every time you surrender a piece of your heart, the light gets brighter. Every time you lay something down, your hands become freer to receive what God is placing in them. You weren't born to live in fear. You weren't created to live in cycles. You were made to walk in power, in purpose, in full awareness of who your Father is. The angels saw what was trying to keep you stuck, and they blocked it. But the next part of this journey requires your yes. Without it, they cannot go any further. The enemy tried to bury you in silence. He hoped you'd settle. He hoped the pressure would convince you to back down. But what the enemy didn't understand is that you've been marked by God since before you were born. And God is not done with you. He's just now getting ready to reveal what he's been building inside of you all along. The delay wasn't denial. It was development. You're not empty. You're equipped. But equipped people must move when heaven speaks. The angels aren't here for decoration. They are here for divine deployment. What happens next will surprise you. The peace you've been chasing will flood your life when you say yes with your actions, not just your words. The clarity you've been missing will return. The heaviness will lift, and the weight that's been on your chest will suddenly break. Not because things got easier, but because you finally stepped into alignment. That's what obedience does. It brings the atmosphere of heaven into the middle of your reality. The blessing has always been there. Obedience just turns the key. Comment amen if you're ready to walk in divine alignment and stop looking back. You're not too late. You're not too broken. You're not too far gone. The fact that you're reading this right now is proof that heaven has not given up on you. But it's also a reminder that this window won't stay open forever. Some warnings are gentle. This one is final. This is not because God's mercy is running out. It's because his plans are waiting, and they won't wait forever. What you were born to do cannot be delayed any longer. You have cried long enough. You have questioned long enough. Now it's time to rise, to pray with boldness, to walk away from things that have no place in your next season, to set your face toward what God is doing and not what people are saying. The distractions are loud right now because your calling is close, but God's voice is louder. And right now, He is calling you back into purpose. The angels were sent not just to block danger, but to hold open a door long enough for you to walk through it. That door is still open, but it is not wide. It is narrow, intentional, and tied to timing. If you hesitate now, you risk more than delay. You risk disconnection. And disconnection from God always brings confusion. You were never meant to walk this path without clarity. That's why this word is reaching for your heart. Some of the things you're praying for have already been answered. You're just not in position to receive them yet. That's why obedience matters. God can't pour into a cup that's turned upside down. He won't force a blessing on a life that's out of alignment. He's too wise for that. But the moment you turn back, the moment you move forward, the moment you choose obedience, everything shifts. The angels step forward. The blessings flow. The clarity comes and your soul finds rest again. You've been tired, but not because you're weak. You're tired because your spirit has been carrying the weight of delayed obedience. And now God is offering you a better way. Not a perfect life, but a powerful one. Not a problem-free path, but a peace-filled one. And that life begins with one step. The angels are waiting. Heaven is watching. And your future is listening for the sound of your yes. There are answers. You've been waiting for peace. You've been begging for change. You've been praying for, and they are all standing on the other side of your obedience. The angels God sent to cover you weren't just guarding your present. They were guarding a future so powerful the enemy tried to steal it before you even saw it. But he failed because you're still here and you're still chosen. There are some battles you've walked through that no one else understands. Private storms, hidden pain, silent nights where all you had was your faith holding you together. And the reason you didn't fall apart is because the angels were there. They stood in the spiritual gap when you couldn't even lift your own head. They fought for your mind when fear tried to drown your faith. They didn't ask for your attention. And they came because God commanded them to. And now they have one last thing to do. But they can't do it without your obedience. Comment 777 if you know something is shifting in your spirit right now. God has heard every word you whispered in the dark. The things you didn't have the strength to say out loud. The things you were too scared to admit even to yourself. He saw it all. And He didn't just watch, He responded. The reason your life didn't collapse under the weight of your pain is because He sent help. Quiet help, holy help. Help that doesn't need applause or attention. But now those angels are holding their position, waiting, watching. And this is the moment heaven has been waiting for your yes. Not a halfway yes. Not a someday yes. A yes that costs you something. A yes that turns your heart fully back to God. A yes that says, Lord, even if it hurts, I trust you. That kind of yes is what opens the next chapter. That's the kind of obedience that activates what the angels were sent to release. You've been asking for breakthrough, but God is asking for alignment because heaven never pours blessing into disobedience. Not because you're not loved, but because you're too valuable to be spoiled by something you're not ready to carry. You've asked why doors closed, why relationships ended, why opportunities fell apart. And here's the answer. Because what you were asking for required a level of surrender you hadn't yet walked in. But now everything is different. This warning isn't just a call back to God. It's a doorway into what He's been holding for you. The angels who stood by you in the shadows are now waiting at the edge of your next miracle. But they cannot move without your decision. Comment 1010 if you're ready for God to do what only He can do. You've carried pain that should have broken you, and yet you're still standing. Don't you see the miracle in that you've made it through seasons that left others bitter, but your heart still believes? You've seen disappointment after disappointment, and still you pray, still you hope, still you worship. That's not weakness. That's evidence of a calling so deep, the devil couldn't drown it out. But now God is asking for more. Not because He needs more from you, but because He wants to give more to you. And He cannot give new wine to old wineskins.